Hello and welcome back. We are continuing our Python Django series tutorials and we are digging into building out our application. Today we're going to make it a little more like an application. We've been essentially hacking our way through some of these things, making some sort of quick fixes and quick links and stuff like that. And we're going to start moving forward into cleaning it up a little bit. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with the login page. And so here you can see we come in and we've got a login that's sort of in the way there. And so let's go over here and let's go to our login, which I believe was homepage maybe. Oh no, it's login here. And this extends base. So I think we have everything we need. Instead of simply doing this login and then a form method, let's go ahead and center it out a little bit. So we're just going to do div class equals container. So I think we looked at that before. And this just gives us a sort of a general, let's see, end block. Whoops, I want to put it before the end block. And this is going to give us something so that we can put it inside. So if I just save this, so it's going to clean it up just the slightest amount. So if I go here, now it's over, because remember we have as our container, we have some gutters on both sides. But now let's take that and we're going to take him and do, let's see, we'll do it within here. So we're going to do, and we're just going to do it. It's going to be a full length. So it's going to be a COL. We're going to do an MD. And this is a bootstrap thing. Let's see, table. There we go. And what this does, basically you can, within Bootstrap, you have, essentially it divides the screen, the page into 12 spots, 12 columns, essentially. And those adjust based on whether or not you're shrinking your screen or not. So right now we're going to say this is basically effectively a whole row, which we could actually, let's just keep it a row for now. And I think we can do an align equals center and we'll clean it up just a little bit. So if we go here, oh, that's not what I wanted to do. So let's do it this way. We're going to cheat. This is another way to center stuff. So we're going to come in and we're going to do, instead of a row, we're going to do class equals. Remember, I just mentioned that you can split, Bootstrap allows you to split stuff up in twelfths, essentially. So we're going to say that that's probably about a third. So what we can do is we're going to do a responsive split in BSP. So we're going to give it a space because it wants a space within that div. And then we're going to do 3 such divs. So let's see. So we do that one, that one, that one. And this one, make sure I've got that balanced. So now what we're doing is we're saying I want a bigger column basically to the left, a bigger column to the right, and then put the other one in the middle. And it's still not picking it up right. I wonder why it's not. Oh, I bet it's not. Let's go look back at base because it may not be picking up Bootstrap, which could be part of my problem. It should be picking that up. So let's go take a look at that real quick. And we're going to see here, he's an MD4. And if we look at the style here, let's see, so MD4 is picked up by grid SCSS. Oh, you know what it is because I'm not forcing that thing to be a row. So let's go back here and wrap that thing in a row and see what happens. Because otherwise it's just going to sort of spread stuff out as it deems necessary, which essentially will end up stacking them. So if we looked here, So yeah, here, if you look here, the first MD4 is actually its own row. The next one is a row. The next one is a row. But now, oh, and I'll need to change my login. Now, because we put it within a row, if we go into the container and look within that row, now we see our 4s beside each other. And so let's just change the please login. I think I can do it on line equals center. Let's see if that works. Is it that simple? Yes. Okay, so I can do please log in. I'm going to make it an H2. And I'm just going to slap a couple of rows above that. Let's do 3 of them. Now I could make this something where this header is through CSS. Let's do it this way. I could make it so that that is spaced out. You know, specifically, I could do a login form or something like that, but I'm keeping it sort of simple here. Whoop, I don't want to save it. I want to do that. And so now we log in. And one of the things, once we log in, we go to this home page, which is not terribly interesting. What I want to do is I'm going to change it. I'm going to go right to my to-do list. So that means within my views, actually, I can probably see it if I go to my login. Let's see. Oh, well, let's go look at that. Let's go look here. Where's login? Let's see. So I may have sent it. Yeah, let's go take a look at that. I think, well, let's go look at our URL. So when I come into homepage will redirect to the login, which redirects to probably default. Let's see. So if we go here, it's going to do a login. It's going to submit. Now, one of the things we saw before is that I think we've talked about the ability to forward, like if we look at our, I think it's in base. Go page home. What was our other one? Internal. That also does. So let's flip back over here. So what we want to look at, where was the actual home page? Home page here. This is the home page. So let's go see what we're displaying. Home page. Okay, so we must be doing that here. Oh, here we go. No, that's home 2. I don't think we need home 2, nor do we need about. Oh, here we go. I'm sorry. So profile, we've got our template name is homepage.html. And instead, what we want to do is, because I think we can do it this way, is we're going to go to our active tasks, which is our to-do, as we see up here. So now if we do active tasks, okay, so that should work. So now if we go in here and we log out and we log in, now it brings us to our active tasks. And so home is bringing us to login. So let's take a look at that. Let's see. So we want to go to, that's our internal. And so home here takes it to a slash, which takes us to home page. Oh, and what we want to do here, we're just doing a redirect. Instead, we want to say if we are logged in, which I think we've used that before. So maybe not. So we can do it here. And what we're going to do is we're going to say if request user. So if we're logged in, then we're going to redirect to the to-do. Otherwise, and we'll just let it fall through. Otherwise, we're going to redirect to the login. Now what this does is this basically says, hey, if I'm logged in, then I can go one place, and if I'm not, I can go somewhere else. And this is something we can use actually, and probably will start hooking up in several places. Oh, and actually it's not I'm going to do is authenticated. And actually what we can do is we're going to use this in a couple places. So if not, request.user is authenticated. So if they're not logged in, and then in that case, we're going to redirect them to the login. And otherwise, they go to the to-do. And so actually we can do that here to a couple things. So like completing a task, let's make sure that they're logged in. Show page, we don't have to worry about that. User registration form, nope. Creating a task, let's make sure that they are. And these are, because we're using the request.user, we want to make sure that they're validated. Let's see. Don't worry about tests, mass update, definitely. Edit a task, we definitely need to be logged in. Listing our tasks, listing our roadmaps, creating a roadmap. And so this is also going to help us in several cases where we were setting the owner to a request user. If there is no request user, which means they're not authenticated, then we're going to run into some issues. Let's see, active tasks, edit a time frame. So we're going to start doing this as part of our views. Is we'll just make sure that we are authenticated. So now, gone through, we've done that. If I do a login, and now if I do a home, it's going to come here. If I log out and I do a home, oh, actually I can do it from here. In this case, it's going to bring me back to login. So now it's not going to keep kicking me back to login. And let's see, so I can, I'll leave. Well, because I'm going to come to home, I'm going to get rid of to do out of my menu items. So I can get rid of that, and that's in internal. So I don't need to worry about that anymore. And now, let's continue with our application. So now we're going to come in here and we see this. Well, if you remember, we were working on our roadmaps. So our roadmaps, we've got one, and we could create a new one if we want, but let's keep with this one. So let's sort of flesh out this roadmap. So this roadmap, we've come in, we've got a due date. We have some time frames. So we've got overall annual goals, and then we've got first quarter. Now, what we wanted to do is we wanted to be able to set a time frame to have another time frame as a parent. And so let's go jump into that. Actually, let's not this time. So let's go in and we're going to do, because we're going to have a couple things we're going to pick up next time because we are short this time around. So then one of the things we want to do, and I think we already did it, is for our overall annual goals, we added some tasks. Now we can do that also for our quarterly goals. So I can create, for this period, let's say I'm going to create application version 1. So we'll have a couple of pieces of data to work with next time around. So create application version 1, due date, March, the end of March. We'll just pick a date towards the end of that. I'm not going to attach a file. It's not completed. It is new time frame, and this is for the first quarter. Now, one of the things we see here that we're also going to tackle is, okay, so I saved that. Now, there's two things. I came to here from first quarter. So what I'm going to want to do is use that as essentially as a default, and I want a way to go back as opposed to doing this, back, which now I got to go back through this, and then I got to go back through it. What I want to do is I'm going to, with this, I'm now going to have a way to essentially go back to the period that I'm working with. So that's what we're going to tackle next time. I've gone a little long this time playing around with stuff, but next time what we're going to focus on is having some sort of a structure within our tasks and our roadmap goals so that we can, time periods, so that we can start fleshing this thing out a little bit. That'll do it this time around. So go out there, have yourself a great day, and we will talk to you next time.